Welcome to Together Healing. I'm back, and guess what? We're gonna make a smoothie. We're gonna make a smoothie. Okay, so I'm trying to do this in one take. I brought everything over here so I could try and record this video as simply and as stressless as possible. So, I am the type. Okay, first of all, I know people use bananas in their smoothies. I was not eating bananas for a little bit, so disclaimer, there's no bananas in this smoothie. I know. Don't chop my head off. We're gonna do a smoothie video later, but this is just a quick little something to show off my blender, even though it's not a showy blender, but we're just gonna do it, okay? Because I said I was gonna make a video with all the things that I had. We're starting with this one. So I'm just putting them all in here, putting all the ingredients in here. I'll talk a little bit about them as I go. I'm not throwing these in here in a particular order because, look, it's all going to get blended, right? This is a very, I'm not even going to say nothing. So, these are dates. I soaked the dates because I wanted them to be soft when I blend them up so that when I blend them, there's not little pieces of dates in there. Because sometimes when I would just be in a rush and I just blend my smoothie, the dates would be so hard that the blender, and again, this comes with having a real good blender. So if you have a really good blender, most likely you won't suffer this problem. But it's nice to know alternatives, and it's nice to know there's other ways you can solve a problem if it ever arises. So I soaked the dates, and I'm only going to use like half of them because this is a lot of dates. You can see in here, it's a lot of dates. I'm using this as a sweetener for the smoothie because I'm not using sugar in here. I'm not going to use honey, which some people use honey. I don't like honey in my smoothies really. I don't really do agave that often. The times that I do use agave is if it's not sweet enough for me and I'm not using another sweetener and I just want to add a quick bit of sweetness because agave is pretty sweet and it blends well with cold things and hot things. So that's the time that I probably would use agave. Or if you're staying away from sugar, this might be a good option. Xylitol. Xylitol is one of my favorite sweeteners because it's not going to do nearly anything to your glycemic index. So if you're diabetic or if you're just staying away from sugar for whatever reason, if you can get birch xylitol, so it comes from the trees, it's ideal. And it's a sweetener that I often use. I'll reference it again in another video because I do use it sometimes for different things. They also sell xylitol more commonly in the form of corn xylitol, which I would probably not recommend because it's coming from corn and blah blah blah. But this one is quite a deal more expensive than you would find the corn one being. So that is why you find corn xylitol in the stores more frequently. It's a sugar alcohol. Yes. So if you have pets, do not put that around them because it is harmful to dogs. But it's not harmful to people. So it's kind of different that way. Sugar alcohols is what I'm saying. Okay, so anyway. Berries. It's gonna be a berry smoothie. I like these berries. Generally speaking, when I do berries, I look for them to be either organic. These are wild, which I like this brand for berries. Whatever, they're non-GMO. and they're non-GMO, project verified, which I take as a reputable thing, um, in this case anyway. And I like them. I like wild berries. So here we are. And you know the funny thing, I'm much more into like blueberries than blackberries or raspberries, simply because I don't like the seeds. I really don't. They bother me when I drink the smoothie. They bother me when I eat them. Not like in a way where it bothers my system. It just disturbs me personally. I don't like seeds. Like I don't. But I understand their function. Berry smoothies taste good. I'm just doing it because I had them here today. So anyway, and they're high in antioxidants. Berries are high in antioxidants. Berries are lower in sugar than a lot of other fruits. So it's nice to have them. Fresh is always best for anything you're making, but if you have frozen, it's the next best thing. Hey, use what you have. That's what I always say. Use what you have, use what you can. Do what you can do. By the way, these dates were dried dates. That's why I said they were hard and stuff like that. Um, Another fun fact is dried fruits are higher in calories than fresh fruits. So, like, I'll get into this in the salad video. You know, if you're trying to gain weight or something, dried stuff is typically something you can just throw into whatever. Like I said too, from mentioning juicing earlier, um, maybe the pulp from the juice could go in here. I didn't mention it in the other video, but if you're making a soup or something and you wanted to use the pulp from the juice, you could use it as like part of the stock or something to just get some of that stuff out, get some of the nutrients out. This right here is just something I had in my fridge because I used flaxseed the other day. So this is actually ground flax and chia seed. Um, Chia and flax are high in the omega 3s, um, and omega 3s are good for the body because they're building blocks for protein. They're very good for the brain, good for the heart, anti-inflammatory, things like that. So I just throw it in when I have it, if I have it, for whatever reason. It's good. And this is not the reason I'm throwing it in. Even if it was, it's kind of awkward to mention. But they're also good for, like, if you have digestive issues, your body to ease up whatever might be stuck and built up, if you know what I mean. So anyway, if you're constipated, there you go. If you did not catch my drift, there you go. There's something in that. Okay, this is a weird thing probably to do, but I found myself doing it one day, and I thought it was pretty helpful to me. I'm not sure the technicalities on this. Like, I just do it because I like to do it, and it doesn't affect the taste at all. I have some chopped spinach that I had in my fridge. It was frozen. I mean, my freezer. It was frozen, and I just add it to the smoothie. And actually, it helps it to be kind of smooth. Like, in place of a banana, I used spinach before, and it was cool. It worked good, and it's a way to get in extra greens. I always am an advocate for adding greens to everything. Period. Greens during breakfast, greens during lunch, greens during dinner, right? Because so often we don't eat as much as we should for the green vegetables and things like that. And sometimes you don't like green vegetables. And if you have kids, sometimes they don't like green vegetables. So you want to just throw something in there. If you want to disguise it more, put some more pretty color thing in there, like some berries or whatever, to just kind of hide it. Add a little bit more of a sweet fruit. You can do mangoes. Like, I'm going to talk about fruits in a different video, but do what you got to do because we need to get those greens in. It's good for our bodies, good for helping us to stay balanced, stay grounded. also just good for our systems. They're high in chlorophyll, and that helps to promote the oxygenation of our blood. We need these things, so let's make use of them. Also, um, another thing that I want to talk about in another video is I reuse jars. These jars are full of other things. This says pesto, this says seaweed salt. This is not what this is. This one is maca root. Maca root is good for a lot of different things, and there's all types of maca root. So if you're looking into maca, it is a cruciferous vegetable, which means it is in the same family as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, um, cauliflower, kale, and so yeah, it is a root. It's an adaptogenic herb, which means it helps your body adapt and adjust to things like stress, and also it kind of takes on whatever function your body might need to adjust to whatever the circumstance is, and I like it for that. When I talk about herbs, it's kind of a tricky thing because sometimes if you have like a medical condition or if you're on medication, you want to check with your pharmacist, your doctor, before you kind of decide to take an herb if you're not very familiar, and things like that. Even though most of the things that I mentioned are probably going to be culinary herbs, because I'm not really trying to get into herbs too much on here unless people really request it, and I'm not like a hugely certified herbalist. Like, I don't have all those certifications yet. Most likely it's not going to harm you. Unless you have something like an autoimmune disease, you want to be a little more wary of certain things, or if you're like your thyroid is imbalanced, or you have like certain things already going on that you want to just be mindful of. Ask. Asking is always better than just going along and trying something, because then they can have contraindications, which means basically it can interfere with what you're taking or what you're going through in a negative way. So you just want to be on the safe side. Anyway, maca root is kind of good for a bunch of different things. Like I said, there's all types of maca root. I think there's like 200 or something. It's really intense, and if it's not 200, it's like at least 80. There's a bunch of different types and different ones, which is really cool. I've used red, I've used black, I've used purple, I've used white. I believe this one is the white one. And so whatever you're using it for, or hearing about maca and thinking, oh, I need to take that, then look at maca, this color, and then the thing you're looking to use it for. But it's great overall for reproductive health, like fertility, sexual health, menopause, and premenopause, for balancing the hormones, and then also because uh, one of the effects of menopause is dryness down there. It's good for that. Like I said, um, reproductive health, that is pretty much like encompassing sexual health, that's encompassing. I I like it because it's good for endurance. Um, so actually, the funny thing is, for all these reasons, it's in my aphrodisiac blend. But I like it, like I said, for endurance. It's associated with like a lot of athletic things. So if you're working on like intense training for something, it'd probably be beneficial to incorporate that way for those purposes. And antioxidants as well. And yeah, it's hearty. I like roots, and I like hearty things. So I feel like this is one of those type of things. It smells nice too. It kind of is earthy and woodsy and a little sweet. So I like the way it smells. I like the way it's not very strong tasting, but try it out. Try it out in like a half a teaspoon first. I always recommend trying things low and slow. That's like one of the key things. If you study herbs or something, they'll probably tell you low and slow. Try it as like a half a teaspoon. You can increase it over time gradually to like a teaspoon, maybe two. But I can eyeball this because I'm used to eyeballing things, and I generally know how much I want of stuff. So, hey, there you go. This is spirulina, and I like it because it's green. Like I said, I'm into the green stuff. Like, I like to have this stuff. It helps to detox the body, helps to alkalinize the body. This is also good because it's a complete protein. It has all the amino acids that your body kind of needs. So I put a little bit in there just because it does have a taste, it's green. It has a taste though. So I don't use a ton, but I like to use a little bit. And a little is better than nothing. If you can throw in something in there that maybe your kids might like that covers the taste, it's not very intense. It's really not. That's why I like spirulina over chlorella. I'm going to talk about chlorella in another video because, I would not use that powder in my smoothie anymore because I have done it and I was angry. So I had to cover it up even more. But anyway, here we are. I'm going to add a little bit of milk. This is just some oat milk or whatever. I had it in the fridge. I like things to be creamy. Like I said, I'm kind of eyeballing this. The fruits that I put in here and the vegetable, because I did put spinach in there, it's a little less frozen than it usually would be, so it's going to blend a certain way. And I just try to cover the fruit or vegetable over with the milk or liquid. I don't generally use ice in my smoothies. I don't like cold stuff, and cold stuff is not really that great for the body, the digestion, things like that. Sometimes you're drinking these in the morning. That's not really great. I would recommend having some tea first or something to just kind of warm up the system. And if you're making a smoothie, maybe don't put so much ice in it in the morning or like too much frozen stuff just because it's cold. Or leave it out a little bit before you drink it. Something like that. This is just my opinion on things. You don't have to follow that if you don't want to. But I'm just saying it to put it in the atmosphere. There you go. So, I'm going to turn this on. We're going to see what it's like. Boom. Just see how that is. Okay, so I just finished that and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use a different spoon because I had tried it already with that spoon. Not gonna just dip back into it, even though it's just for me. It's really just for me. Whatever. I'm just like this. It tastes really good, guys. I added not only because I added like 8 dates to it. There's no like major chunks in it. I'm gonna try and pour it real quick so you can see. Let's show you. So, there was a chunk in there. That's what I mean about the blender, guys. You gotta get a good blender. But this one is okay. As you can see, it did the job, except that one chunk. I'm okay with the chunk, whatever. Maybe it's for me to chew, whatever. Maybe this is God's plan, okay? So anyway, here we are. And that's it. And if you have any questions or you want to see something in particular or hear me talk about something, let me know. This is a smoothie quickie. In the future, I will go deeper into smoothies and different things about fruit, different things you can add to your smoothies. I want to have fun with the smoothie video. I'll talk about proteins, all that stuff. Anyway, let me know. Take care. I hope you can make a quick, easy, measureless smoothie like this and enjoy. Um, yes, there's so many things we can use instead of milk. So many things. I guess, whatever. Let's enjoy. Have a good one. Here we are together, healing, and cheers.